So which flower color in this story is the dominant flower color? The first idea we have to check is which cross is useful for determining the dominant white flower color. If you look at cross 2, the offspring has white flowers which resembles one of the parents. So in this case, it's not useful in telling you whether a purple flower is dominant or recessive. So this cross is not useful. But if we look at cross 1, the offspring has white flower, but none of the parent has white flower. It shows that this white flower allele must be present at the parent level. Otherwise, there won't be offsprings with white flower, right? It must be present at the parent level, but it is masked up or hidden, which tells you that the white flower is a recessive phenotype. So we're going to make use of this cross to formally explain why white flower is a recessive phenotype and purple is the dominant one. The logic here is to look at the offsprings, showing that there is a white flower allele. This allele must come from the parent level, and since the purple flower also have a purple flower allele, we are going to create an heterozygous genotype case, because if you remember, we teach in the first lesson, only a heterozygous genotype can help to tell you whether a phenotype is dominant or recessive. So we are trying to explain to the others that these parents, or at least one of them, are heterozygous. We want to find out the heterozygous one, and then since the heterozygous one shows purple flowers, it tells you that the purple flower is the dominant one. Because when you put two alleles together and it shows only, put both white allele and the purple flower allele together and it only shows you the purple flower, it means that the purple flower is a dominant phenotype. So how to explain this formally in words? We start from the idea that white flower offsprings with white flowers must have white flower alleles, otherwise it won't have white flower, right? The question is how many? Now some of you may say 2 because it is recessive, but don't forget that at this moment we're not sure. When we're not sure, the only thing that we can confirm is that if it has white flower, it must have at least one white flower allele for white flower. It can be 1, it can be 2, but we're not sure, but there is at least one. This white flower allele must be inherited from the parents, but which one? It doesn't matter, because later on, if you think about carefully, both parents are purple flowers, so in either way we can at least create one heterozygous case. So we just tell people that this white flower allele must be inherited from one of the parents. Then we look at the parent level on their own. To generate the heterozygous case, we need to consider one more allele. So since both parents have purple flowers, so each parent must have at least one allele for purple flower. So if you are keeping the count, each of them has one allele for purple flower, and there is an allele for white flower that we know that it exists in either one parent. So that means one of the parents must be having both the purple flower allele and the white flower allele. So therefore, at least one parent is heterozygous. Why is it so useful? Because in heterozygous genotype, only the dominant allele is expressed. So how can we know which allele is expressed then? Since the parent shows purple flowers, it means that the purple flower allele is expressed and the white flower allele is being masked. So from the phenotype of parents having purple flower, we can deduce that the purple flower is the dominant phenotype.